Hi there. Welcome to the HTM buddy build of the U.S.S. Reliant. My name is Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
I'm Jordan with the Line of the Stars.
Well, welcome back to our buddy build here, everyone. We have Jordan's got some new parts in. I'm waiting for some new parts, and we have some news from our sponsor, Lake Monster Details. So, where
Indeed.
would you like to start?
Why don't we go ahead and start with the news from Cass over at Lake Monster Details, and then we'll go into the mail call.
All right, that sounds good. So, I've been keeping in touch with Cass as best as I could, and he's wanted to let us know that he's hoping that the parts for the Reliant here will be coming out sometime in August, probably late August. So that's what he's hoping for. And then he also wanted people to know that in the future he has some items he's working on for the 1650 TOS, and I'm really excited for some more parts for the 537 scale refit of the Enterprise.
Ooh, awesome.
Yes, so it would be a nice piece to bring up and do along with to have with the Reliant.
Well, and a lot of these parts that are being done for this can be kind of like transposed, like all the the light boxes around the outside, for the outside windows, like the RCS thrusters. A lot of that stuff can be reused, which is really really cool, actually.
Oh, very true, very true. Like the fins on the nacelles.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes out with that, and at some point that'll be on my list of ships to build.
Awesome. 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 Well, I really look forward to seeing that from Cass. I know that he's had a lot going on, so glad to see that he's going to be able to start getting back at it, which is awesome. And so the little bit of a mail call here that we have. So Will has finished sending us all the parts because when I made the request, I forgot to mention all the parts that we needed. So, but first, but wait, there's more. One of the things that he sent along.
Oh, sorry. Let me change screens here.
So one of the things that he sent along first is some vinyl masks, and these are going to be for the nacelles and the roll bar, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That is correct.
Excellent. So he went ahead and just got those taken care of. We did ask for a file, but he's like, yeah, I can just go ahead and take care of getting that put in place for you. So we have some of the masks for the to kind of finish out the paint. What is it? What would you call them? Stencils or masks? The masking
Yeah, it's
kits
the
that
blue
we both have.
dashing and lines along the edges of the roll bar and the pylons, I guess.
Right. So yeah, it's a nice little complementary piece to kind of help out with the rest of the build. We have the replacement impulse deck, and I'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and grab the original, my part that's been modified, and this, in comparison, there's some tape sitting over the top, but they put in the built-in grills. There is a resin piece on the inside there that's going to a clear resin piece that will be able to light up very nice and evenly with the back behind the impulse, and the grates are put in place. Looks great. Aha. But
Nice.
as you can see, it is a good deal bigger than the part that was that we're going to be putting in place, and so this is going to sit right over the top, and it's not as wide, I would say. Well, no, it actually fits right in place. It's just as wide, yeah. So sorry, I was a little off camera there. Yeah, that's that. And in here, there they are. here are the two clear vents, and those fit into place right down below here. And
Nice.
I gotta say, like when you look at them, there's some really good detail.
I look forward to getting those parts.
Yeah, he was saying that he was having a tough time for whatever reason. Clear didn't want to print for him, so that's why it took a little extra time for him to get the parts over to us. But yeah, that completes the mod set. We have all of the parts ready to go. Like it's pretty awesome, man. Like we're ready to kind of like finish the modding and kind of move on to the rest of the build.
We are getting close to that painting stage, actually, I find.
Yeah, I like for as far behind of you as I am, I've been able to kind of keep good pace for some of the other things, like a lot of the pre-work that I had done on the nacelles and on the roll bar, like being able to basically have the parts for the roll bar. I'm going to finish that. So like I will have two complete sections built outside of like, sanding and getting all of like the, getting all of the seams taken care of and what have you. But basically I have two of the three components assembled and ready to go. So I'm pretty pleased about that. I guess that kind of leads a little bit to a segue. So I'll go ahead and talk about what I got done real quick last week. I went ahead and finished up the nacelles. Um, Looking to kind of get back on track as parts are here and I'm able to kind of complete some work. But got both my nacelles taken care of. I still have a little bit of uh, finished them just a little while ago, and so a little bit of the glue is still kind of bonding and what have you. So I got that taken care of. All the lighting works great. I still need to go through and repaint the outside of the chiller grills, and but I did go through and get all the sanding done that needed to get done, filled in a lot of the gaps, everything along the outsides, and so all the lighting turned out really well. Very few light leaks. Very pleased actually with how the nacelles turned out. And as we have the you'll have your parts hopefully this week, Ken. It took probably a couple more days beyond what I got them, so hopefully it should be there soon. I'll be able to actually finish the roll bars, so I'll be going ahead and putting the clear vents in place, putting my UV LEDs back behind here, and then we're going to go and cinch this up, get all the wires trenched down through here, and see how it all turns out. So that's kind of the plan for me. It's exciting to actually have the parts and be ready to go to kind of move on to the next phase. So, yeah, that's what I got. What about you?
Wow, that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. For me, for those who saw my video last week, I started putting in my light boxes, so I'm going to continue on with that. I did some already, and you'll see me, finally getting these front two put in, and me altering my Raytheon effect so that they don't interfere with the Raytheon effect. Also, I saw that Will had commented on my last video, making a note because I had said uh, in doing that that you do have to sand these light boxes a bit, and he agreed. He said just due to the fact that he can only make the light boxes so thin. I'm just paraphrasing him here. That due to the fact you can only print them so thin, it does require a little bit of sanding. And yeah, I mean that's to be expected. So you're going to
Right.
see me finish that off. I'll get my bridge all attached and lit, and then I'm going to start putting my lights in the light boxes and get that hopefully all done up. And then yeah, and if I get the parts from Will, I did strip everything out of my weapons pod up here,
Mm,
so that way I can easily get access to this because really uh, the top part still has my flashing strobe, not a problem. And I knew I needed to relight block, so I figured I'll pull the photons out to be able to put these lights back in, and then I can put the photons back in and do the rest. So if I get those vents here this week, I will basically refinish this again. So Yeah, but that's what you're going to see. Just mostly lighting for me this episode.
Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to see it. It's so cool. Like, I know that lighting was not something that you'd done a whole lot before getting into the sci-fi stuff, and so I'm really excited to see what you get done.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, it seems like the parts are arriving. I think it's time for all steam ahead, basically. Time to get moving on the
Yes, it
build.
is.
And so, yeah, really looking forward to seeing what you get done this week.
And I'm looking forward to seeing your progress as well.
All right. We'll see you at the bench.
See you at the bench. All right, so here we are back at the bench here. I've done some uh, finished some wiring up here off screen. I've completely wired and resisted the bridge here. It's not connected yet, but it is ready to be glued down. And here my wiring here, strictly for the bridge section. So if we connect our negatives and our positives, you can see our lights come on. So that we have our red lights for when Con's in control. And then we also have on the back our lights for the docking area. There's still a mask. I got to pull the mask out of there once all painting is done, but I can still see a little bit of light coming through. So, and then my other colored lights here, I have here white and a blue, and those are for my flasher on top, because I want those to be marked differently. So if you give me a second here, I'll get that connected up as well. They've all been resisted to their proper resistance they need to run. And then here I can just simulate the flasher. So there we have it. And then that's just it on. But yeah, so that's good now. So what I can do now is I can glue this down. I have to, because of overspray, I have to clean the inside of this BC deck so that the light can come through. It's going to be mostly just light block from the outside with probably just a nice little layer of black on it, and then the white. I'll probably try and make some little masks up for the windows as well, just so that they're good to go. So I'll get this attached, and we will then move on to the lower hull that I've also been working on. So I'll be right back. All right, so there we have it. It's glued in now. I just used a little bit of CA glue, and I've kind of learned my lesson. I just put just a little bit here and a little bit along here, and did that. And then I cleaned up the BC deck with a little cotton swab with some lacquer thinner on it, and then went over it again with a dry side of that. And yeah, it cleaned it up really nice, and I will be able to come along afterwards now and put on some masks, and I'll be able to mask the windows out and then prime this just from the outside, and yeah, that'll be good. As you can see here, a little bit of light leak right here. That'll have to be tidied up with a little bit of putty or something. Not a huge issue. I knew that was one thing coming into this earlier, but yeah, it's all looking good. Lights still working really nicely. We have our red lights for Con, and our, you can't really see them too well, but we do have white lights back here that are masked off. So I'll come back with the lower hull, and we'll start working on that. All right, so here we have our lower hull here, and as you can see, I've doesn't look like I've done much more, but I have. What I've gone and done is I've taken these two front light boxes that we were working on last time that are going to cause me to have to repaint my Raytheon, and what I've gone and done is I've actually sanded them in a bit, but in doing so, don't forget it takes the width out of it, so it's going to cause an issue with your width on your lighting box. So that does cause a fitment issue with these tabs that are here. to hold these window segments in. But so I had to basically take off the end little bits here, and then I could sand them in to bring them in quite a bit further, kind of like that. There'll probably be a little bit of a light leak, but I'm not overly concerned. But it did bring the light boxes in from somewhere about here to about where they are now. So it's quite a bit. If I line this up here with an existing light box that's already hasn't been altered, you can see there's quite a bit of material that's been removed, and I've been able to bring the whole thing in a little bit more. And that means for this lower hull section here, I've been able to I won't have to come in with as much light blocking, which will help preserve this. And again, with the top, I found that it's just, and you can see here, this is a little uneven here in these corners, but I can fix that up with a little lacquer thinner cotton swab again. What I found is I only need to bring in just a little bit along here, this area here, and a little bit in here, and the middle can stay much more unchanged. So it saves our effect a lot better, I think, and it'll look good. So, which I'm really happy with. But looking at this now and thinking about it, and looking at my lighting, what my lighting solutions are going to be for running lights. Am I going to run LEDs? If I do, I have to be cognizant that it does thin out here, and that could be a problem. So I'll play around with several different lighting options, maybe some a bunch of 5mm LEDs or something kind of around there. Maybe 3 to the side or something to give us a good bunch of light. And then what I can do also, because we're going to have to come out here afterwards and put white paint over this, just a nice thin layer of it for our base coat, I may need to clean this up a little bit more to allow a little bit more light to come through, but at the same time I want to try and maintain this faded effect. So just things to work on. But so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead, I'll work on my Raytheon effect here first, and then probably clean this up as well at the same time. And then I will continue working on the bottom with getting my lights into place. So I'll get all that set up. I'll get this Raytheon effect done up a little bit more, and I'll be right back. All right, now, so moving along, let's start putting our lights into our light boxes. So we have all these here. They're all burnt in. The only ones that aren't going in right now are these ones here, which are our all tangled up. There we go. These are our filament LEDs, which are going to go into our pylons for Raytheon effect. And that'll be the end of our Raytheon effect. That should be everything that I was going to light. I think that's all the Raytheon parts. So, sorry about the rat's nest here. Alright, so there we have it. So, we can start. So these are really, technically extra long wires. A lot longer than I'm going to need. Yeah. Now, I believe I soldered these together. So let me go ahead and unsolder these so that we can start putting these in. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have these ones all kind of done. So what I'm going to do is start inserting them. And then I'm going to be looking at how I'm going to run them. Now, to secure them in place, I'll just use a little UV resin just to kind of hold them in place. Now I'm thinking try to run everything kind of over to this area from the top. Now, the hard part may be getting this one into here. And I'm right, it is. So, what I could do is fix that out. No. Still connected, good. What I could do is just clean out a little bit of this area here, because we know this plastic's fairly thick. So, what I'll do, grab my little Tamiya router. It just saves me from not having to grab the big one. If need be, I will grab the big one. But we'll see if this is just enough to get us in here. Well, it's starting to go, but let's give her a little bit more. There we go. And we're in. Let's give that one a quick test. Make sure I didn't cause any damage. And double checking, we are at 5 volts. And that works perfect. Okay, we'll carry on. So again, just doing that to kind of run our lights best we can. All to the same area. So it is 10 lights, 5 per side on this upper area, and there'll be 18 on the lower for a total of 28 for the light boxes. At least these window light boxes anyway. So let's give that a shot. That's good. That one went in a little easier. Clearly I left a little bit more of a gap. Check our light. Perfect, it still lights up. Okay. Okay, let's pull all these lights here. I'll flop them off the front for now to keep them out of the way. Because what I'll do is I'll kind of run these all to one area, put some glue along to keep them kind of running flat. and what I can do is solder them all together into one kind of main lead that will eventually join up with the ones on the lower side of the hull. So give me a few minutes here. I will start securing these in here, and actually, you know what? Before I start securing them in, let's solder them all together to create one sort of harness for it all to come off of. Then we'll test them, and then we will, at that point, we'll look at securing them in with the UV resin. So I'll be right back. All right, so you can see how I'm kind of running my wires, kind of trying to keep them as neat as possible. And then got them all wired up on this one side. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all working. So now what I can do is I can come in here with a little bit of UV resin and secure them in place more permanently. Then I'll come around and I'll do this other side sort of the same best I can. And then the red lights as well can be attached in here as well, because they'll be on at the same time as the other lights, as well as the rear lights for the docking hatch at the back of the bridge. And the blue light that's going to go in here will also be attached to that. The only thing off the top that will be different will be the lights for the strobe. But everything else on here can kind of come off on its own. Because I don't believe that anything I'm going to be doing will be done separately. So I'm going to keep working away at this, and I'll come back and show you what I got. Alright, so when we last left off, I'd channeled my wires, but then I came to the realization that unfortunately that's not going to work, because I had to route my wires so that they wouldn't collide with the light boxes down here. So I did have to clear up some space again, more on this side than this side. Again, it's just to do with me and how I put these in. It's nothing to do with the parts themselves. And unfortunately, one of my wires got disconnected in the bridge area, which is on the light in the rear. So I'll have to go back and try and fix that. So I've got all my lights in here now. I found the best ways to run them. These lights here, right along the bottom here, was the best result. The rest of these aren't really interfered by anything. So when we close this up, I'll bring these lights off the rear here. What we have is something like that. So you can see we have our lights in there and lights in here, and then we still have our red lights all around. So really looking really good. Unfortunately, this light over here came undone. I'll go ahead and I'll fix that here off camera. And I haven't hooked up this one yet, the flasher, just because it's on a separate circuit. But right now I have all these connected as one right now, so that should do. The Raytheon will be connected separately, but right now that I got that all done, I'm going to go ahead and put the lights in on the bottom. So I'll get that done and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have the bottom lights all put in place, all 18 of them. You can see I've kind of run them just around the edge. It's basically all I've done, avoiding my Raytheon effect and giving a little bit of space to the RCS thrusters. So that's kind of what I've gone and done now. Basically, I just have them set as 2 sets of wires coming from each side. Although a lot of these wires are crossed, so it's to prevent bending wires right around a corner. I ran this direction for a lot of them early on, and then later they would be bent over and sent back. So that's what that's looking like. So what I'll do now is I will get these all done up with some common wiring, and I'll get the whole thing put together, and I'll show you what it looks like with all the lights on. So give me a couple minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have it. Everything's all done and lit up for as far as windows go. We can see we have our side windows here lit. We have our front windows. We have our bridge, red lights we can see coming around the saucer. We have our windows, and yeah, so there you go. That's everything kind of for a lot of the static stuff in here. I'll do the Raytheon, I think, in the next episode. Uh, During the off time, I think I will go ahead and just test some lights out. Uh, Now, this week, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to work on my pylons and get the filament lights put in there to test, but I can look at doing that as well next week. So I'm happy with the results here so far. Things are fitting a lot better as far as fitment goes, and the lights and everything. It's looking really good. So things we need to look at doing for further lighting. We're going to have to worry about this impulse crystal as well as crystal on the bottom. We're going to have to put our nav lights in and our RCS thrusters. That'll be the next step in lighting. So join me next week and we'll work on that. But I'd like to say thanks again to Cass over at Lake Monster Detail here for providing us with these parts. And I must say, I'm looking forward to the 537 refit parts. It's a kit I've had that I've wanted to do for a while. Also, thank you very much to Will from the Instance Chair for sending us these parts. He's sent me some more. The final bit of the impulse engine to the rear, and I believe the clear parts that will be going on the bottom there, these vents right here. So thank you very much, Will. And don't forget to go check out Will. And also, don't forget to go check out Jordan's videos. He's coming along pretty good, and I don't mind cutting this off a little short for me. I could spend more time doing some more lighting, but I'll give Jordan a little chance to catch up. So go check out Jordan's video, and thanks for watching. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, pardon me.
Nice.
Oh, take.